Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So yeah, it's now, I've gone from the rain of the last video to the warmest day of the year here, and today's mission is really, I don't know what today's mission is. I know where I'm going. I'm going to Ireland's Eye, little island just off Howth, just north of Howth, and the objective of the exercise is, I don't really know what. Whether it's wildlife, whether it's landscapes. I've just always wanted to go out there and see what's out there to photograph. Yeah, so this is Howth Harbour. Beautiful location. Certainly not the living countryside, but I hope to see the living countryside when I get out to Ireland's Eye. Beautiful, warm, sunny day. Plenty of sunscreen required. Yeah, just looking forward to get out there, see what we can get. See what photographs present themselves and go from there. So come on, let's get at it, let's go. So this is Ireland's Eye. It's a short hop, skip and a jump from Howth Harbour. We've got the Martello Tower just up here. Some paddleboarders enjoying a nice day out. So the object here is to land, I think it's somewhere up there near the Martello Tower, and then go out and explore this island, see what we can get in terms of photographs. Yeah, so we've just landed here on the island, on Ireland's Eye. Quick 15 minutes out to this crude-ish landing spot. Boat came in just here. We hopped off, boat still running, didn't even tie up. And then it's up these steps and up onto the island. And just while I got out here, some nice little shots presented themselves. There was a cormorant on the rock just here, sunning himself, drying off his wings. There's cormorants diving amongst the shallows here. And I've got two paddleboarders here who came around the point here, and I got a shot of two of them there. So pretty decent start. Again, a strikingly, wonderfully beautiful day. And as I said in the quick intro before I had to hop on the boat, I don't really know what I'm doing here today, but already it's become very apparent. I'm just doing whatever presents itself. Could be wildlife, could be landscapes, could be guys on paddleboards. So I've got these first few shots here. Literally, my feet on dry land for 30 seconds, camera out, took a few shots. So if any of them are of any interest and worked out, well, here they are. Yeah, so I'm just walking up the steps here, and there's people on the boat with me, and they've they've just completely walked by this shot. This shot has just stopped me in my tracks. Now, the worst thing about Ireland's Eye, as you can probably hear, we're directly in the flight path from Dublin Airport. So while it's idyllic, every 30 seconds, 1 minute, you get a big bird flying overhead, and not the type of bird I like to photograph. But anyway, back to what I was talking about, if I flip you around. If you look here, we've got the Martello Tower. You know, this is a fortress, I think, built in the 1800s as a part of the fence system around Ireland. But just down here in the foreground, we've got these lovely pink flowers. And just over here to the right, there's 2 old lobster pots. And we've got this V shape in the rocks in front of me. Jesus, I have to be careful here, because if I step back too much, I'm going swimming. But a shot, something like that, where this V kind of leads you into the shot of the Martello Tower, and with the nice pink colour here in the foreground on the lobster pots. So yeah, I'm going to compose a shot there. Yeah, and if that shot worked out of that Martello Tower in the background, it's been a good start. And here it is. Just down here as the tide goes out, I've a resting grey seal. He's just popped his head up to say hello. Hello. He's just taking in the rays today. But up here, I'm at the Martello Tower. We've got lots of nesting seagulls. I actually walked out there. You know, I saw a seagull standing out there, looked like a nice photograph. And this dude here decided to take off and dive bomb me. So I said, yeah, let's leave him alone. This is their terrain. But over here, just below here, I've seen my first seagull chicks of the year, hatchlings. Still lots of birds sitting on nests. There's another one just there. And so lots of eggs being incubated, but I've just seen my first few chicks, and I'm going to try and get a photograph of them. Yeah, oh, in the shade with the hat. Yeah, I'm going to try and get a photograph of this seal below, and if I can, get some of these chicks before I kind of head on. I'm no more than 50 meters from where I got off the boat, so I need to kind of move on a little bit. So far, Ireland's Eye has surprised me. So a little bit of patience here to get the little chicks and this grey seal. And if I do get those shots, well, here they are. Yeah, so I love this Martello Tower behind me. You can see it here. And I'm going to go against all the purists, and I'm going to just snap a shot to show you that if you have a camera and a lens, just get out and take a shot. I've just got my little OM5 and I've got the 12-100 on it. And I'm just going to put it in full auto and snap a shot, because I'm carrying around 2 other bags and my big 150-600 on my OM1 Mark II. But you see this line of the fence? Get you this way a bit. This line of the fence and the footpath taking you towards the tower. I'm just going to pop off a few frames here. With this little camera, I can just literally just point and press, and it's so great for traveling around. Yeah, the 12-100 is slightly big, but I've also got the 8-25 in there if I needed to. But I can just pop this on a wrist strap, carry it around, and rattle off a few frames. If you've got a camera, if you've got a lens, train your eye, look for some compositions. Even if it's in full auto mode, who cares? Get out, rattle off a few frames. Here's a few frames that I rattled off of this tower with this little neat setup. Hope you enjoy them. Yeah, so I've just looked behind me here, and way down at the tower, there's two people sitting there having a little picnic. Always a reminder to, to look behind you. You never know what picture presents itself behind. I just like this picture, and I'm going to change it to a 16:9 to give a little bit of expansiveness of the island and a nice location they're sitting in. Yeah, so I just thought it was a nice picture. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It doesn't have to be the next award winner. It just got to be a picture that makes sense to you. So I'm going to take a few shots of them, a few compositions, and if any of them worked out, well, here it is. Yeah, I'm on the island about an hour and a half already, and I've barely moved 200 meters. So I think it's time to move on and let's explore some other areas of the island and let's see what we can get. Let's go. Looking back towards the mainland, that's Howth Head. Wow, there's a fire up there. And it looks bad. We've an old settlement, an old church down there, St. Nessen's Church, I believe it was called. As we look back down towards Dublin City, got a few guys on jet skis. Yeah, what a beautiful place. Just a pity that we're constantly bombarded by the regularly departing aircraft from Dublin Airport with Ireland's Eye directly over the flight path towards Europe. So can't have it all. Anyway, let's keep going up this hill. And I wonder what awaits us when we get there. I have no idea. Yeah, so I've made it to the top here. A couple of nice little shots here with this track as a leading line heading over towards that headland. And as I zoom around, we've got the lower part of the island heading off back to the mainland over there. That's Howth Head. As another iron bird flies overhead, but I can't. This might be another nice little shot here, and we've got these kind of white flowers in the foreground. I think these are some kind of wild garlic, and you want to keep to the track with this stuff around because it can leave you with a bad itch. But something like that. One or two shots from this highest point as we look around back to where I came from and kind of just take it all in on this wonderfully sunny, beautiful day. So one or two shots from here. Again, full auto on the OM5 with the 12-100. Apologies to all the purists, but I feel like that today. And here's a few shots. Enjoy. I've just reached the eastern part of the island of Ireland's Eye. And I'm essentially looking to, actually, I can just make out off in the distance the mountains of Wales, of Snowdonia. Beautiful, clear day. Bit of a heat haze for also for photography, but I don't care. I'm just enjoying this. Yeah, just taking a break, just taking it in. Met some lovely people, had some nice chats, met a lovely lady from France who's out looking for puffins. So I told her to head down to the Salty Islands. She's going to come back and do that. But I'm just sitting here enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the view. And if I flip you around, this is that view. I'm trying to come up with a composition here for a photo. I've gotten really lazy today. I just feel lazy as hell. It's just point and snap, and sometimes, guys, that's okay. But I'm just sitting here. I've got all my gear here beside me. I've got a bag full of water and food, all my camera gear, my lunch. But just down here in front of me, one of these little purple flowers. I think they're called sea thrift or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. If you do know what it is and I'm wrong, just please comment below. But I see a composition using that and that kind of stack there in the distance, the 16:9 portrait. Maybe that'll work. I just love these little flowers. I think they're so cute. There's loads of them around here. I see another bunch just there, and maybe using them again as the foreground interest with a shot something like that off into the distance. I've also got loads of cormorants out here, splashing and diving and doing their cormoranty things. And I'm just chilled out and enjoying this. So I'm just going to take on some water, take on some food, take on some photos onto my memory card. They may or may not work out, but I'm just chilled out here. I'm enjoying it. So if any of these photos worked out from this sort of lunchtime location, well, here they are, enjoy. Yeah, so I've walked on a bit further. I'm getting kind of to the end of the island now. But just out here behind me, out here you've got the gannet colony. You know, the whole rock is just pure white essentially at this stage from the gannets. But it's just nice to just pause here and just observe them for a bit. But again, I see a nice little composition. And again, it involves those little pink flowers on the island here that are everywhere at this time of the year on the island. And I'll just flip around here. I'll just swing you around there and you get a taste for the view. But just here in the foreground, I have these pink flowers. I'm just going to frame a shot something like that with the flowers in the foreground and the stack with the colony of gannets on the right-hand side. Also, just to give it some depth, there's a little rock here, sort of halfway between, that might just give, you know, a feeling of depth. Yeah, again, guys, same scenario. Lazy mode today. OM5, no weight at all in it. And the 12-100. Such a versatile lens. Such a versatile setup, really, when you want to just go out and walk around. I might put a little bit of effort into this time and do some proper composition and some proper settings on the camera. Because purely up to now, I have just been pointing and clicking, but hey-oh, some days are like that. But in this little location here, as we look out all around, across the Irish Sea, and down to the point of Ireland's Eye, I'll take one or two shots here, stick them up for your enjoyment, and here they are, enjoy. So I'm just down on the lower part of the island now, and I'm going to make my way back around to the landing spot to get the next boat back over to the mainland. Yeah, it's been a worthwhile trip. I've never been here before. You know, certainly a nice one to bring the family out for a walk. You'd be around it in an hour if you so wished. If you're not into birds or anything, it's just a nice walk. If you can get over the sound of airplanes when they're using this particular runway coming overhead. But as someone who's into birds, you know, there's plenty for me out here. Certainly no puffins to be seen, but there's gannets and guillemots and everything else. Certainly don't get as close to them as you do on the salty islands, that's for sure. But that's no, you know, the salty islands are just exceptional. they're one-off, and you can get so close to all of the birds. So amazing spot. But I've enjoyed it here. It's been a beautiful day, and I've done something different. You know, I've just gone out and my brain kind of went into point and click mode. And let's get the sun in this direction, guys. The brain went into point and click mode, and sometimes it's just nice to do that. Not get too worked up about what you're shooting, how you're shooting it, what are the settings. Just go for a walk. Bring your little point and shoot, bring your phone and just take some photos. And that's what I did today, to be honest. Nothing spectacular, but certainly enough photos to get me by. And those photos, this video have got me out and about, so I can't ask more than that. So with that, I'm going to wrap up this video. Once again, thank you all for joining me on this little walk around Ireland's Eye. Again, if you're new, please subscribe. It really helps the channel. A thumbs up and a comment, no matter what it is, even if it's just nice video, Mark, that helps to promote the channel. I'd really appreciate it. So thank you all for joining me. I'll leave you with a few bonus shots that didn't quite make the reels beforehand. I always like to do that. And I'll probably keep walking along and taking a few more shots when I kind of end this video diary, let's call it. So once again, everyone, thanks for joining me. Until the next time, Slán, see you down the road. Bye for now.